for the details of the subject property, the title number is 99289, lot number 22886, District of Kinta, location in Ipoh, Mukim of Hulu Kinta, State of Perak Darul Rizwan. Tenureship is a freehold. Category of land is agricultural land. As price conditions is commercial plants, which is a rubber tree. So this is the shape of the line from the title and the location from the maps. So here's the picture of the subject property. So in the surrounding we have schools, we have primary and secondary school, we have petrol stations, we have fire stations, we have bank, we have hypermarket, we have terminal bus, we have McDonald's. So this is the factors of this area is a phase of the urbanizations. It's good for the investments.
Okay, so let's take a look on the social economic of Perak. So in 2019, Perak has contributed 5.3% to Malaysia gross domestic products and 3.7% to the national gross development product. So basically, Perak is ranked at the 8th place between the other states in Malaysia. And the population of Perak in mid-year of 2020 is at 2,510,300 people. And the figure of employment in Perak in 2019 is 1,043,700, and I'm sure that in this current year, the employment of Perak is getting lower due to many workers are being laid off from their work because of the pandemic COVID-19. And based on the household income of Perak, the majority are categorized as T20 group with 45%, M40 is at 32%, and B40 is at 18% from the population of Perak.
So next is market analysis, where it is important whenever to develop a new development. So based on the chart, it shows that the overall value of property transaction in Malaysia record a significant decline in 2020 compared to 2019, with showing a decrease 15.8% in value due to the COVID-19 pandemic. So however, the transacted volume for the principal property subsector in the state of Perak in the year of 2016 to 2020 show that residential sector has been as the highest contributor in transaction in property in the Perak. So 4 years back, residential property experienced a decreasing of transaction, but in 2020 it is increased sharply even during the COVID-19 pandemic. So the demand and supply for the proposed development has been gradually arrived from year 2016 to 2020. So it shows that the property market industry faced a stable growth in Kinta district, even though during the COVID-19 pandemic that has happened on 17 March 2020. To sum up, it may shows that a good potential for the development with affordable price as to follow the customer's need and satisfaction during these hard times. So the demand will arise when proposed properties has completely constructed by that customer afford to own their own house.
Our company has proposed a fully residential scheme development. It has come up with a concept which is Green Modern Residential Development with a name Impiana Meru. And Impiana Meru is justified by its locality, which is in Meru, and also Impiana portray a heaven that which is will bring a good, safe and comfy joy to our residents. Our property has 3 types, which is single story terrace, double story terrace, and also single semi-detached house. For its planning standard, we follow the 60-40 concept, which is 60% for residential area and 40% for the open spaces. It also provided a very unique facilities, which is a jogging path, lake court, playground, and also have a garden for its open spaces, which is more suitable for the elders and kids and family to spend their time together. It is also have its botanical garden, which it consists of very unique flowers that which is it makes our residential more interesting and comfy.
The building cost for terrace houses, which include single and double, are 80 ringgit per square feet, while the building cost for semi-detached house is 120 ringgit. Proposed selling price for single-story terrace is 285,000, double-story terrace for 370,000, and for the single-story semi-detached is 450,000. And then we add 10% of the price for end lot and add 20% for corner lot. To find market value of subject land, we use comparison method with three comparables around the subject property, which is Quinta Perak. After the adjustment, we choose comparable 2 with least adjustment and the latest data. So with 24.68, we round up into 25 ringgit per square feet. We get the market value of subject land is 11,108,000 ringgit. And for the terrace houses, we have three types of unit, which is intermediate lot, end lot, and corner lot. And then we also allocate 30% of the lot for Bumiputera with 5% discount. Thus, we get the gross development value for 64,648,735 ringgit. For total development cost, we include conversion premium because our subject land is currently under agriculture uses. And then we assume that the period of our development is 3 years, and we adopt sell then build concept with 8.6% for finance. And then we got our developers profit, which is 40,085,421 ringgit, with gross development value less with total development cost, land cost, acquisition cost, and holding cost. Now we move to profitability of project. We may conclude that this project has a strong chance of profitability because we got 21.79% for developers profit as percentage of GDV, which is around the range of 20% to 25%, and then we get 38.96 for developers profit as percentage for TDC, which is around 25% to 55% range. Now we move to cash flow. We use discounted cash flow with NPV and IRR approach. So for NPV R1, we use 9% per annum and we get 2.91 per period. And then for NPV R2, we use 180% per annum and we get 29.66% per period. And then here's the assumption for cash inflow and cash outflow. And then we get our interest rate of return, which is 22.78%, which is considered viable because our IRR is higher than our finance interest rate, which is 8.6%. And then we identify 8 types of independent variable, with the dependent variable is developer's profit. And then we get that all of the variables except project management costs and preliminary costs are sensitive. This analysis is applied to this project to determine the outcome of this project, which is it high risk, medium risk, or low risk. So we use crystal ball analysis by running 10,000 simulation, and we can conclude that this project is a medium risk project with 40% to 60% succeeding.